no place like the Q. Family, this is your favorite queer radio personality, Anna DeShawn, and this is Queer News, your favorite weekly news pod where race and sexuality meet politics, culture, and entertainment. This is your number one stop for queer news done right, only on E3 Radio.
My parents were homophobic before their child came out. The stuff I used to hear growing up, and now my mom running around telling her pronouns. I always say it is difficult to hate people up close. We hate what we don't know.
Because who's going to fight for me if I don't fight for myself first? You know, being a part of a larger community united in one particular goal, and that's equality. It's simple.
We will not stop fighting. We will not back down. There are no kings here in this country, and we will continue to fight the good fight.
That was a short snippet, just a really, really short snippet from an interview I did with HRC in advance of the annual HRC Chicago dinner taking place next week. Yeah, family, the theme this year is Power Through Unity, and I'm honored to be an honorary co-chair this year alongside Emmy award-winning journalist Matt Rodriguez. The money raised will go to fuel the people and political work HRC is doing across the country as the largest LGBTQ organization, period. There's a link in the show notes if you want more information about that dinner, and there might be a dinner near you that's worth supporting. Go check it out, okay? Okay. QCrew, what's going on? Thank you for your continued commitment to helping to sustain this podcast. I couldn't do it without you, quite literally. I wouldn't want to do this podcast without Ryan, and y'all help to cover his costs, okay? So if you believe in the work we do, if you believe LGBTQ stories need to be amplified, if you love and respect how I report on the news and tell our stories, join the QCrew. It starts as low as $5 a month, and the link is in the show notes. Now, don't forget, the Queer News tip line stays open, okay? Are you a queer organization? Are you a musical artist with a new song? Family, drop me a Queer News tip. I love hearing about all of it, okay? Now, where do you find it? In the show notes, you already know. Now for the news. In our top story, we remember and celebrate the life of Lia Smith. In politics, I analyzed this new Texas ruling that now allows judges to refuse to marry same-sex couples. Yeah. And let's uplift how LGBTQ food pantries are stepping up and stepping in the gaps for the loss of SNAP benefits across the country for millions and millions of people. In culture and entertainment, family, we get to celebrate and have some good news in culture and entertainment, okay? That's why I continue to keep this segment, because it is where we often find hope. This week, we praise a trans teen in Washington who won his settlement after being assaulted by his classmates back in 2021. And we make an announcement about applications that are now open for the International Trans Fund. Let's get into it. Family, before we get into our stories for today, I just want to be honest. I woke up with anger in my belly this morning. I woke up so frustrated about the state of our country and the state of our world. I woke up angry at those who decided to vote for this nonsense. It took me a long time to get to this microphone this morning. And I just want y'all to know that I love you, okay? That I love you. And when you come to this podcast, know that we are going to do everything we can to take good care of not only the stories and the news, but of you as well. And I've had to take time to take care of myself this morning, sit in my prayer and meditation corner. Remember why I'm doing this. Remember why it's important. Because let me tell you something. It's hard. It's hard to report on the news right now. It just is. And after reviewing the political stories that we're going to share today, it's just, it's believable and yet unfathomable that we have to deal with this in 2025. So prepare yourself, family. We got a lot to share today. And Culture and entertainment, that's where we're going to find some hope, okay? All right. I just want you to know I love you and that you're not going through this alone, because I'm right here going through it with you, okay? All right. Let's get into these stories today. This morning, we remember and celebrate and mourn the loss of Lia Smith. Lia was a 21-year-old trans student from Middlebury College. Lia was first reported missing on October the 19th by her family, but she was last seen on campus on October the 17th. Friends, family, and local community moved quick to organize search parties for her. Student organizers were able to gather more than 170 students to aid in the police's search, according to Middlebury College newspaper. Lia was found on October the 23rd by the Vermont State Police, close to the college's organic farm. In a statement from Middlebury President Ian Bacom, he said, "With deep sorrow, I write to share that in a press release issued last night, the Vermont State Police have now confirmed the identity of the person found near campus on Thursday as Lia Smith. They continue to confirm there is no suspicion of foul play. I have spoken with Lia's family to express my heartbreak." He continued, "As president and far more as a fellow parent, I ache for them. This is a profound loss that nobody should have to endure." Family in this statement, they also directed students and staff to mental health resources. Lia was known as an active member of student life at Middlebury College. She was a former diver on the women's swimming team and diving team. She was a member of the chess club and an articulate advocate of transgender rights. She sat on panels. She encouraged students. She's remembered dearly by her friends and family. Middlebury College plans to hold a memorial for Lia very soon, as it is reported that she did take her own life. Family, we know the impact that politics is having on our family members, and even the ones who excel, the ones who are advocating for others. Child, the saying goes, check on your strong friends. Sounds like Lia was a strong friend. And so if you or someone you know needs mental health resources and support, we know that Trump cut the national line, but child, there are so many other places we can go. So please call, text, or chat with the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or visit 988lifeline.org for 24/7 access to free and confidential services. There's also the Trans Lifeline, designed for trans and gender nonconforming folks. They can be reached at 877-565-8860. And the Trevor Project still has their lifeline for LGBTQ plus youth, ages 24 and younger, okay? They can be reached at 866-488-7386. Now in politics, ahead of the Supreme Court's decision whether to hear the case of Obergefell versus Hodges, a case that could absolutely affect the future of marriage equality in this country, and they will be making that decision on November the 7th, the Texas Supreme Court, being slick as usual, passed a quiet ruling that now allows judges to stop marrying same-gender loving couples. This new ruling allows Texas judges to refuse marrying same-sex couples on the basis that the marriage violates their, quote, sincerely held religious beliefs. This ruling was made possible to a modification of the Texas Code of Judicial Conduct, which is essentially the code of conduct just judges must uphold in the state of Texas. Now, previously, judges, quote, extrajudicial activities, end quote, should not cast reasonable doubt on the judge's capacity to act impartially as a judge. But now it's being modified. Now it's being modified. Child, I feel like everything is being modified to fit everybody's own personal beliefs. Child, we pay taxes in this country. Can I tell y'all how far I'm going off script right now? I am just so full of anger. We pay taxes, okay? We give back to our communities. We show up, but all of a sudden queer folks, right? We have darts pointed at our backs. And they get to use religious exemption to practice such harm, legally practice harm. Let me get back to the story, family. We in Texas, okay? It's been modified. They have modified that it is not a violation for a judge to publicly refrain from performing a wedding ceremony based upon a sincerely held religious belief. Local lawyers don't believe that the legal fight is over. University of Illinois law professor Jason Mazzone voices that couples can sue if they are denied their right to marry, thanks to the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause. Quote, one of the claims that I think will be made in response to litigation that is likely is that, quote, well, there are other people who can perform the wedding ceremony, so you can't insist that a particular judge do it. But this lawyer at the University of Illinois says, but that, of course, is not how equal protection works, and it's not how we expect government officials to operate. I know what this lawyer at University of Illinois is saying, and it's not how we expect people to operate, but that is exactly what is happening right now. That is exactly how people are operating. That is how the leader of this country is operating right now. Family LGBTQ activist groups are working to fight these rulings, such as the Human Rights Campaign, who have put out an urgent call for donations to help them protect marriage equality. Family, we must hold our communities close right now. Child, it's hard not to panic, okay? It is very hard. Protect yourselves, protect your families. We did an episode some weeks back, right, where we amplified what V from Under the Desk News was sharing with folks around how to legally protect your marriage. How to legally protect your marriage. Don't panic, get to work. Stay educated on these laws, right? So we'll know what to do next. Of course, we're going to follow this. November 7th is going to be an important day. And we'll be following as they develop. This is what we do here on Queer News, you know? Chile. And for our last political story today, let's talk about SNAP benefits. Let's talk about how they have now expired for millions. Nearly 42 million people as of November the 1st. This could have been prevented had the Trump administration not refused to continue to fund the benefits past the November 1st deadline. They had an option to do that, and they didn't. These benefits are expiring as Republicans and Democrats remain at an impasse over a series of bills that impact funding in an array of ways, but arguably most detrimental to health care. What we know is that Democrats want to talk about the Affordable Care Act, and what we know is that Trump does not. Trump wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. He says that he wants to improve health care. That's what he says. He's talked about it last night on 60 Minutes. But there is no plan. No one has ever seen the plan. But there is Project 2025, so there's that. Federal judges on Friday ordered Trump to use the government's emergency reserve funds to continue funding SNAP benefits, which is great. But that will take time, and some families don't have that type of time to wonder if they can afford their next meal. So in the face of this detrimental loss for approximately 42 million people, LGBTQ food pantries across the country are stepping up to help, as food pantries always have provided assistance when folks have needed it. According to Advocate, the Pride Pantries at the LGBT Life Center in Virginia already provide assistance to about 650 households a month, or roughly 1,700 people, which amounted to around 285,000 pounds of food distributed in 2024. So here's the deal, family. If you are affected by the loss of SNAP benefits, look up local food pantries and community centers in your area for resources. I am finding that people are showing up in droves to help support in this moment. If you are a person that doesn't need the food pantry, you can donate. And if you don't have money to donate, you can give of your time. Family, you already know I'm a proponent of time, talent, and treasure. This is a moment to step up. Step up, because there are people who need SNAP benefits. These are people who have jobs. These are people who are trying to make it. I didn't even realize that the federal minimum wage was still $7.25. Did you know that? Did you know that the federal minimum wage is still $7.25? And there are states across this country who use the federal minimum wage because they have not passed a state minimum wage. Do you see why people are on SNAP? Do you see why people say eat the rich? How can you have a country with billionaires running companies that employ hundreds of thousands of people, and they pay people $7.25 an hour? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Family, I need to take a break. You need a break? I need a break. Okay, let's take a break. Let's take a break. Take some deep breaths, okay? Let's take some deep breaths. And I got some good news coming up, okay? We got good news coming up. Let's just, we'll be back after the break. You've got the drive. You got the ideas. Now it's time to cash in. We have a promotion that Focal Point has never done before. Dulcie has gone crazy with this one. The heat has gotten to her, and you want to sign up now before she comes to her senses. Now imagine, family, if you could get paid for your goal achievement. No fluff, no filler, just real strategy, real wins, and your money back. If you're done with distractions and ready to start seeing the payoff your hustle deserves, sign up and make the next 90 days count. Get focused, get paid. Welcome to Focal Point. Enroll now at focalpoint4u.com. That's Focal Point, the number 4, the letter U.com. Family, welcome back to the show. Did you take some deep breaths? I took a lot of deep breaths, okay? So now let's just jump into some culture and entertainment where it's always 20, 30 years ahead of politics. And right now I feel like it's even further ahead than that. So let's just jump in, okay? In culture, let's celebrate a win for Ian Rigg, a trans teen out of Washington. He and his family were awarded a settlement from the Spokane School District after reaching a settlement over his 2021 assault. Now, at the young age of 13, Ian was the subject of bullying by his classmates. The students hurled anti-trans slurs and verbal harassment at Ian, but the bullying was elevated to a physical assault in 2021, which left Ian covered in bruises. The altercation was captured on camera, and in it, you can see Ian being physically assaulted while other students crowd around and laugh. No one intervened. Ian recounted the encounter to his local news station, saying, "Earlier that day, they had said something about after school. I didn't even really hear because I wasn't paying attention to them. And then I was walking towards my area where my bus picks me up. He pushed me, and then he started getting close to me. So I tried pushing back, and then he hit me." Images of the aftermath of the assault were posted to Twitter at the time. The Spokane Police Department investigated the assault and charged the main student responsible with 4th-degree assault. Ian's family followed up with suing the Washington School District for not doing enough to protect their son. They believed his school was aware of the bullying well before it got to the point of assault. The family was awarded $60,000, $36,000 of which went to Ian directly. I'm so glad Ian has a supportive family. I'm glad they had the resources to sue the school district, because we know that oftentimes school districts do not handle the bullying. So I really do hope that coming out of this decision, they have put other policies in place to protect students going forward. And congratulations to Ian and his family for winning this fight. Let it be a precedent for others who find themselves in a situation where they have to do the same. In our final story today, I'm happy to announce that the International Trans Fund has opened up applications for 2025. The fund is in its 10th year of activity and is a participatory fund shaped by trans activists and donors dedicated to expanding resources for trans-led organizing. We love everything about this. In 2024, they reported that since its conception, the fund has invested $7.84 million in 214 trans-led organizations, spanning 99 countries, amplifying trans leadership and advancing justice on a global scale across its 8 grant cycles. How dope is that? This is how we're taking care of each other. This is how we've always taken care of each other. We show up in so many different ways. The fund is open to trans organizations and movements that are trusted by the community, take movement-focused approaches to build collective power, dismantle structural barriers, and strengthen sustainable infrastructures, and have initiatives that encourage diverse voices and complexities. The fund is made up of 2 grants, okay? There's 2 grants, seed grants, which are 1-year grants for organizations that have not been funded by the ITF before. The grants range from $10,000 to $25,000. And then there are Thrive grants, which are 1-year grants available to ITF grantee partners that have previously held a seed grant. The grant amounts range from $25,000 to $50,000. Now, if you're hearing about this opportunity and you feel like this description fits your group and or organization, or you know of a group or organization that might benefit from this opportunity, I want you to apply and I want you to spread the good news, okay? Applications are now open through December the 1st. And so for more information, including a breakdown, a more in-depth breakdown of both grants, you already know, a link is in the show notes and you can visit transfund.org. Good luck to everybody who chooses to apply. Now, family, you know it's time for Anna's Got a Word, because Anna's always got a word. And my word today is just simply anger. I am angry. I'm so angry right now. And as I'm sitting here and I'm looking for James Baldwin quotes, because I feel like he centers me and reminds me that my rage is so justified, right? He has this quote that says, to be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all of the time. And I'm telling you, that is how I feel right now. And his other quote that says, we can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist. And right now, I feel like the forces against us are denying our humanity and right to exist. And I am infuriated by this. I am so angry about this. I'm angry at the people that voted for Trump. I'm angry that the news and media have been trampled upon so badly that you don't know what's true and what's not anymore. I'm angry that 30-second and 60-second videos have taken place of written editorials that outline all of the issues. I'm angry that for some reason we're in this Republican versus Democrat when truly the fight is billionaires versus the poor. I'm angry that there's a ballroom being built with my tax money, that my tax money is going to fund wars that I don't believe in. I'm angry that people are being displaced across the world and the U.S. has had a hand in all of it. I'm angry about all of it. And I'm just gonna own it today. I'm just gonna sit in it because that is exactly how I feel. And I know I'm not alone. And in this moment, I gotta find a way and find a place to just let it all out. Maybe I need to find one of them rage rooms. You know what I'm saying? You just beat up a car real quick. Because what's happening right now, the way families are being torn apart, the way the federal government, it has militarized the National Guard and ICE, the way people have lost their jobs, the way people don't have food in a country full of billionaires. Child, I'm just angry. I'm gonna take a lot of deep breaths, family. I hope you do too, okay? And hug a tree or something. Hug somebody you love, okay? Because that's how we're gonna get through this. I'll talk to y'all next week, okay? All right.
Queer news, queer news, queer news.
If you've enjoyed what you heard, rate and review us inside your favorite podcasting app. This podcast is written and produced by me, Anna DeShawn. Podcast editing by Ryan Woodhall. And brought to you by E3 Radio and distributed on The Cube. We are Queer News Done Right.